Welcome to Unlatched World. Coding Tutorials Unlimited.
Hello, coders. Today, we are going to learn about hoisting in JavaScript. We will cover both variable hoisting and function hoisting in this video. We will start with the traditional var variable declaration and then move on to let and const variable declarations which were introduced in ES 2015 version of JavaScript. Without any further delay, let's jump into coding. This is my editor and I am using VS Code here. I have a terminal open where I will be using node commands to execute the code. Let's start typing. Let me first just declare a variable x assigned to 10 and just console log and see what comes up. We can see in the terminal that it just prints 10. So, how did that happen? I mean, I didn't even use var to declare the variable. Let me just cut this line console.log x and paste above x equals 10 and see what happens. Now, when I run it, it throws a reference error. What's a reference error, and why did it just show up in here? Reference error, as the word means, it's an error when trying to refer to something. Here it's trying to refer x. When console.log looks for x to print it, it cannot find it as it was defined later. But now, if I just add var in front of x, it will print something else. Now, it prints undefined in the console. So, what happens is in JavaScript, when you declare something with var anywhere within the code in global scope, it's moved to the top, even though the assignment comes later. We will cover about scope in another video. JavaScript does not hoist undeclared variables. In the first case for x equals 10, assigning without var, let, or const creates a variable at runtime, and in strict mode, it throws an error. Now, let me just modify this program a bit. What do you think will the output this time? You can just pause the video and try to think of the answer. All right, you have done it yourself. Very good. Let's see the output in terminal. It shows undefined at first as we just defined x, but didn't assign anything to it. There is no error as we defined it with var correctly. The second console log shows 10 as we assigned 10 to x. Again, no error. So, we covered the initial case of variable hoisting. Thank you for following me up until here. Let's check out let next. Let me write a console log first. Then define a variable x with let, and see what happens when I run the code. Oops, we see the same old reference error again. Now, why did this just happen? Before we dive into the issue, let me just change let to const and see what happens. Will it work with const or throw an error? It throws the same reference error with const as well. Let me now change the order, declare the variable with const first, and then console log it. It shows the value 10 of x correctly in terminal without any error. Let and const variables cannot be accessed before their declaration. This period is called the Temporal Dead Zone. Remember, Temporal Dead Zone, or TDZ, is the place where the variable is declared and initialized. Trying to access them early throws a reference error. So, in practice, they behave as if they are not hoisted. Let's move on to function hoisting. I will create a function called hoisting example with standard JavaScript function declaration format and just console log hello from function. Now that the function is ready, I will just call it with hoisting example. Let me just run it now. This code runs without any error, despite the function being called before it's declared. This is because the JavaScript interpreter hoists the entire function declaration to the top of the current scope. I just now placed it above, and there is no error, and we get the same output. Let me now change the function definition to a function expression. There is a reference error in the same way we saw for variable declaration with const. Let me just call the function after declaration and then execute the file. We see that there is no error and we get the expected output. We are not able to access a function before declaration with const. Function hoisting only works with function declarations, not with function expressions. We covered both variable hoisting and function hoisting in this video. We checked variable hoisting with var, let, and constant. We also examined function hoisting with normal function declarations and function expressions. We didn't do in detail about scopes and temporal dead zone in this video, as I didn't consider them in scope of this video. Please keep checking this channel for more tutorials on JavaScript. Do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for being with me till the end.